Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 4 of Touchdown Tech. This episode, we're going to be going over the Davidson game from last week, as well as kind of talking about the bye week that's upcoming and what Tennessee Tech can do to improve. We might even have a special guest coming up later on the episode. We don't know, we'll see about that. But Adam, Tech dominated yet again. They're 3-0 for the first time since 1977. They dominated 72-14, set a program record for single points in a game.
Absolute blowout.
I mean, that's a big introduction, but I wanted to cover it all. You know, that's a lot to talk about.
That's incredible. For the first time since 77.
77. That's basically just say 50 years.
Yeah. 72-4, beating them by 72.
72-14 final score.
That's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
That's what this Wilder tenure's been all about. I mean, breaking records, beating teams down pretty bad. I mean, starting 3-0. What more can you say? It's going great.
And we kind of expected Davidson to be a little bit unmatched, especially with the way Tech was playing in the previous 2 games. However, respect to Tennessee Tech for going out and executing properly and taking care of business, because that's what you're doing right now. You're just taking care of business.
Yeah.
Conference play is coming in 2 weeks. They got a bye week this week, and then they go on the road to TSU. That's when that's when the rubber starts meeting the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's when you really kind of get down to the meat of your schedule and kind of find out who you are. I have all the faith in this team to be just fine in conference play because of what they did last year. They went 6-2 in conference play. They wound up sharing the title.
I don't think this team is going to have to figure out who they are. I think teams are going to figure out who this team is.
That's 100% right.
I think they're gonna say, they've had a lot of success early in the season, but we'll be fine. We can handle these guys. We got the utmost confidence. They're going to realize this Tech team's different. This Tech team is someone who can compete with basically anyone.
Yeah. To talk about the Davidson game a little bit, I thought Vesperis looked really comfortable. You know what I mean? He was just in his mode. He was Offensive Player of the Week in the OBC. He had over 300 total yards passing and rushing.
Yeah. 5
total touchdowns, 3 through the air, 2 on the ground. He looked really good. He was making really good decisions. I think Coach Wilder alluded to it in the post-game press conference, talk about how good he was just seeing the field.
Yeah.
And he looks – so far he looks the part. You know what I mean? Like you thought preseason, you hear all the accolades that he had, and he led the the country in completion percentage last year, and you're like, wow, Tech's got a dog. And that's so far that has been the case.
You know who else looks the part? Theron Gaines.
Oh, man.
Big interception in the game.
Yeah.
60 yards to the house.
Yeah.
From a big boy?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to say. Preseason, I noticed in practice, like just from like social media posts and stuff, he was wearing number 9. And I was like, that's a cool number for defensive end. But he looked slimmer. He looked like a linebacker.
Yeah. And
they dropped him back into coverage, and he picked it off and took it all the way to the house. So this guy's athletic ability is really off the charts. He's having a phenomenal year through 3 games, 3-run games. He's the man.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the kind of guy you could stick out at outside linebacker, and he'd be fine.
Yeah. Well, he's really good at playing in space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He can rush the passer. He can play out in space, cover the flats. You've seen him do a lot of different stuff this season so far for Tennessee Tech, and I think that's something that the defensive staff is, I'm sure, really proud of and just raving about with number 9.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And one guy that I think we want to rave about is Tyler Wagner.
Yeah, that's our guy.
I think it's time. We might as well just get this out the way. It's one of the biggest things that ever happened to this podcast.
It is.
We have an exclusive interview with Tyler Wagner.
That's right. I asked him a few questions. Adam asked him a few questions. And now, without further ado, we're going to cut to that portion of the podcast right now. Here with Tyler Wagner, starting left guard for the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles. Tyler, man, it's great to have you on the podcast.
It's great being here. Thank you for having me.
Dude, you reached out to me via DM. I think it was like last Thursday or something. You were like, keep the podcast coming. How did you discover this podcast?
So, when I first got here, I was looking on YouTube, decided to look at some Tennessee Tech football highlights, came across your YouTube. I saw the first episode. I was like, you know what? I seen some from my phone, Coastal Carolina episodes. Yeah. So I was like, I will watch this podcast. Put it on. And right away, I was hooked. I watched the first one, and the second one was out the next day. I watched it. I loved it. So I saw you taking pictures of me and CT doing our little dance, doing a little sexy Dexy dance.
That's right.
And so I reached out and just had to let you know, keep it up.
Dude, I appreciate it. That was such a cool moment when I saw that. I was like, man, it just put it in perspective, the hard work that we put into it, that it's getting noticed and that the players enjoy it. That's awesome. That's everything to us. So I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you, accepting to come on to the show here. We love to have you. I got a few questions for you, if you're ready. The first question I got for you is, why did you choose Tech from Coastal? Because I know you played at Coastal Carolina. You chose to transfer to Tech. What was kind of the deciding factors that kind of played in that situation?
Yeah, so the big thing for me was I wanted to go somewhere where I felt wanted. Mm-hmm. So leaving the portal, I mean, it's a big risk nowadays. Joining the transfer portal, even though I'm from a G5 like Coastal Carolina, like going there, it's like you don't know what to expect. You see people not be picked up in it all, not wanted to go somewhere they're unhappy. So I had to make sure I was happy. I came here, Coach Wilder introduced me, and then I met Coach Harmon, our offensive line coach, and right away, they both made me feel wanted. Coach Scott, OC man, they all made me feel wanted. It's promised me that, like, you know what, you're going to play. If you come here and do your thing, or you're going to play and we're going to win some games. Like, we got playmakers coming. Everyone on offense will be fine. Defense is elite here, as you can see every game. So, I mean, it felt like my 2020 Coastal Carolina team. Everyone had that camaraderie together, and everyone was bought in. And so, like, I felt wanted, bought in. I was like, might as well take a chance.
Absolutely. I love that. And Tech's defense is pretty good. That kind of leads me to my next question. Do you feel like in practice, is it kind of an iron sharpens iron situation? Because to me, both lines of scrimmages, offensive line and defensive line, y'all are both really good.
Oh, yeah. No, every day is a battle between those boys. I mean, like, I have respect for everyone on that defense. You know, the D-line, they're so deep. We can put the 1s, 2s, and 3s in there, and it's a battle for the O-line. I mean, as an O-line unit for the fall camp, it was a battle every day. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, day in, day out, you're getting tired, and you see a fresh new face come in, and you're like, you can't let up because, you know, they're going to be just as good as the ones.
Yeah.
So, I mean, every day it's a blessing to go against that every day because in the games it makes it so much easier.
That's a fact. Yeah, that's really cool. So, game days. Take me through a Tyler Wagner game day, pregame ritual. You know, what are you doing to get your mind right for the game?
Yeah, so when I get to the locker room, you know, before the game, we have a little eagle walk. Do that, get in there. I go straight and get taped right away. Get the ankles taped, get the fingers taped. Then I get in my locker, take my socks off and all that, and I go to the game field and I just walk around the field one time. I get to midfield and I'll look at the sky and I'll thank the Lord for what He's given me every day, and then, you know, just take it all in because every day is a blessing. I mean, you know, being here, like going to Coastal Carolina 5 years, didn't get much to do, and coming here and being like having the opportunity to do this, it's every day is a blessing. So like, I do that, listen to my music every day. Might put a podcast on.
There you go.
And then, you know, I'll go in the locker room, get dressed, you know, and just envision every play. Because we usually get the first series script, and I'll look at it, and I'll just envision every play about blocking somebody.
I love that. Just kind of like a side question, what's your favorite blocking assignment? Like, are you a down blocking guy? You like to go up to the linebackers, combo block, or do you like pulling? What's your favorite? Like, what if you hear a play and you're like, oh, this is my play?
I'm going to be honest, I love pulling. Pulling or doing counter, but like being the play side and having a deuce. I love my left tackle CT. He could smack a hip. And so me and him have been great at those deuces and killing somebody. But personally, me pulling by myself, it's a one-on-one, and I'm not going to lose that one-on-one. I just love it, just smacking people around. It's the best job of being an O-lineman because you don't get the opportunity too much in pass pro. So it's like you got to do run blocking more.
Well, I'll say that. I saw a play in pass pro against Chattanooga. I think Coach Wilder posted it on Instagram where you took a guy, and I was like, I'm going to watch 74 on this play. You was pass blocking, you did your pass set and everything. Mm-hmm. Once you engaged, I think you turned him around, and he went down. You got the belly on him. It was great.
You know, that was a rare play for the O-line because I think every D lineman was on the ground that play. So shout out to everyone on the O-line.
Yeah.
It was like, you don't ever see that happen.
That's so cool. Pass blocking, I've heard my coach say it, and you probably heard a bunch of coaches say it in your career. Pass blocking is not passive.
No, not at all.
Not passive.
It's aggressive.
That's right. Last question for you real quick, T-Wags. What team are you looking forward to playing the most this year? We talked about SEMO, you know, prior to the recording start. Who is the team that you're like, man, I can't wait to play that team?
There's two in my mind, actually. When you talk about SEMO, I've heard UT Martin's got a really good D-line always. But for me, it's kind of a personal. It's Charleston Southern.
Okay.
I have a former Coastal Carolina player that plays D-line, transferred there a year or two ago. So I can't wait to go one-on-one with him.
Oh, boy.
So, but I mean, it's all love with him, and he knows how it is.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite team, them or UT Martin.
I have said before on the podcast, I'm excited for the UT Martin game because I think that's a legit rivalry. There's some bitterness right there. And Tech went on the road and beat them last year in Martin and just was a defensive clinic. I think Martin's going to have an edge to him this year to want revenge. I'm really looking forward to it. It's the last game of the year, senior night or senior day. That's going to be a really cool game.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Kentucky also in Lexington. I'm looking forward to that one. Hopefully me and Adam can get credentials and go there and see y'all compete with them, but I'm also excited about that one.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am here with Tyler Wagner. I am in a different spot with a different Tyler today, but we're hopefully going to get to ask him a few questions right now. So one of my first questions is, how long have you been playing football, and where did you get your start before college?
So yeah, I actually was a late bloomer in football. My parents didn't really want me playing when I was younger. Further, like my mom was nervous, But then I was so big. One of my old O-line coaches, he said, "No, this kid's 5'7", 5'8", at 12 years old, 11 years old, or like 10 years old. He's got to go." So started fourth grade, played till seventh grade. Then me and my parents decided to take a year off because you don't want to get burnt out going to college and all that. And I didn't start on the offensive line until my junior year in high school. Actually, I went to Parkview High School in Lilburn, Georgia. Very known, well background, won a bunch of state championships in the early 2000s. So our O-line there's always been good. So I went there. I was kind of skinny. I was 200 pounds as a freshman, Then I grew 280 as a sophomore. But I didn't have the feel for the game yet. I was a big basketball player at first.
Yeah.
So then I got my start as a junior. I had no idea I was going to go to college. I didn't think about it, So it was always a dream, but you didn't realize it. Then I started dominating the playoffs, 7A Georgia ball. And then I got hit up, and Ball State was my first offer. So then I realized, hey, I can actually do something with this. So that's where it all really started.
It's a real moment where you just realize, like, oh, hey, this might actually lead to something. I might actually be a little good at this thing.
Yeah, just a little bit.
One of the questions I did want to ask you was, for you, what's the most important part of football? Is it that brotherhood with the guys in the locker room? Is it, getting to show the fans, be there for them and meet them and, all that? What's the important part for you?
So for me, it's a mixture. First, it starts off with the camaraderie of your team. So like when I first got here, I didn't know any of the O-linemen. Most guys had been there on the line from last year, except for Drew Wilder came in the spring. So my thing was to get used to everybody and let them trust me, because when you're 5 guys on the field as O-line, everyone has to be on the same page. If not, one person messes up, the whole line messing up. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was like getting to know my left tackle, Christian Thomas, and then center Drew Wilder, because I talked to them every play. So it was huge. And then for me, also as a personal aspect, I love getting the fans involved. I mean, like, we can't do nothing without the home support. Like you see the Chattanooga game, it was raining, and we still had a huge crowd I saw, and I was appreciative of that, because, like, if I was a fan, and, like, rain might scare a normal fan away, but seeing that the Tech fans were invested in that, it was huge for us.
Yeah, that's got to mean a lot. And, when you reached out to us, it really felt like a player reaching out to some fans of the game, and he wanted to be involved with the community. Is being involved with the community something that you value and you try to do?
Yeah, no, I want to be involved with the community at all costs, like volunteer work. I've already been to an animal shelter here in my first 2 weeks here, so like any opportunities I can get, and anyone reaches out, I would happily do, because I just want everyone to know that, like, you support us, I'll support you. Like, we're not just some superhero, we're like a normal human being. So we want to be like, make sure everyone, if you see me in public, you can talk to us in public. It's no problem for me. I'll talk at little questions. I just want people to like know that like we're here for you guys as well.
Yeah, I'm sure the fans will love to hear that. Really, really down to earth. But one of my fun questions that I wanted to ask you is, after a game, what is your favorite post-game meal? Because I know big boys love to eat. You go into Five Guys, you stopping at McDonald's. Where are you heading?
So for me, it's between I'm actually just a big Raising Cane's guy, but I could go for a Five Guys burger as well.
Me too.
Those Five Guys, I mean, it's a little more expensive, but I'll pay the extra buck for it.
The price is worth the quality.
It is very much so.
If I played, that's where I'd go. It's Five Guys. I'd get me 2 big burgers and just chow down. But any places you and the O-line like to go as a group?
I like to go Chili's. Chili's is a big one.
That's always a good one.
Love Chili's, and also Drake's. Me and a few guys go to Drake's here and there. It's a nice little place.
Yeah. And outside of the game, how close are you to these guys that you play on the O-line with?
I'm pretty close. I mean, every weekend after the games, I'll hang out at least 2-3 of them. Like, someone's always with somebody at some time. I mean, we're all got a tight-knit bond. It's really nice. Because, I mean, sometimes some teams don't have it. Some guys just go all on their own. They're hanging out by themselves. But for us, someone's always with somebody. So you're always getting that connection built every day, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, we've really got that vibe watching Tech play these first 3 weeks. They've looked like a team that's really bought in and they're brought together. They don't look like a team who's got, issues off the field. They look like they're ready to take this thing a long way. How confident are you feeling on the rest of the season?
So, yeah, I'm feeling really confident. But, like, as we say, it's always play the next play, and you always got to respect your opponent. So you can't look ahead. For us, it's every week. So this week is bye week, obviously. So we're taking this bye week to get better, heal up some injuries, and just looking ready for the next game. But every day it starts with yourself.
And with that, we're going to head back to our regular coverage of the Davidson game. Thank you so much, Tyler, for being here.
Thank you guys for having me.
And we're back to Touchdown Tech, episode 4. Dude, thanks again, Tyler Wagner,
Absolutely.
for being on the show, right? I mean, just a great guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could tell, even when we weren't recording, dude's just a good guy.
Yeah.
You know?
There's no more you can say about that. It's just class and character.
Yeah.
That's how I'd summarize him, is class and character.
Yeah, I won't say he's media trained, but he's very well spoken in like what he talks about with the football team. He doesn't boast or anything. He's very focused on the next game, it seems to me like. And I think the whole mentality of the team is like that. You know, I don't think he's just the needle in the haystack. I think the entire team thinks like Tyler Wagner thinks. Yeah. On to the next one. Let's take care of business. This team is focused. They are focused. Despite dominating their first 3 opponents, they are really laser sharp focused, and it's impressive to see that. I think that I don't mean to just keep rambling on, but I think the senior leadership and the amount of seniors that they have on the roster and just the experience that they have on the roster, I think that is really starting to show right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of guys that realize that Tech can be the end of the line for them. This is where they want to finish their careers. So I think they're bought in, they're focused, they're ready. I don't think there's going to be any distractions for this team. You might suffer a loss or two, but I think this team is easily capable of bouncing back.
I agree.
And I think they can compete with anyone in this division, in this league, really.
There's not a team on their schedule, and I'm including the Kentucky Wildcats. There's not a team on this schedule, in my opinion, that Tech just pound for pound cannot compete with.
Yeah, well,
there's not one single one.
I'm not sure the Kentucky Wildcats can compete with much anyone, but
they're bad, but they're talent-wise, they can match up with Tech.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have to take it from Tech. I don't think Tech's going to beat themselves. If they were to lose a game this year, I'm saying, I think you're going to have to beat Tech. You're going to have to take it to them and beat them and deserve to win. Kind of like Georgia and Tennessee. Yeah. Georgia, I mean, they made plays. You know, Tennessee made enough plays to win too, but they stole it. I think you're going to have to do that to Tennessee Tech. They're not just going to give you anything. Yeah,
you get too conservative. You get down into crunch time and you start playing safe with these guys. They're going to take it from you. You have to take it from them, and that's a hard thing to do because this defense, they're ready. Mm-hmm. They're not going to let you get anything easy. This offense, they're going to punch you in the mouth every chance they get. So I think this team overall is ready for anything.
Yeah. I talked to Coach Wilder in the post-game press conference, and I was asking him about, he was talking about this team's not been punched in the mouth yet, and I agree. They've not. They've not had any adversity come their way negatively yet, and that's coming, right? That punch in the mouth's coming. And I asked him, I was like, how are they going to respond? He's like, this team is so mature. Yeah. You know what I mean? They've got seniors. They all understand the goal that is at hand. They want to win the conference championship outright.
Yeah. I know this is a football podcast, but I'm going to relate it to boxing right here.
Okay.
You can have a plan heading into any fight. Second you get punched in the face, that plan goes out the window. Second you taste blood, anything you have, it's just instincts.
Yeah.
It's just instincts at that point. But this team's instincts, this team's ability to recover from that kind of hit, they'll be fine. Mm-hmm. I really do believe that.
Yeah. And we'll preview the Tennessee State game next week on next week's episode. But that'll be an interesting game because it is the first road game of the year. It's the first conference game of the year. You're kind of getting some new things that this team hasn't seen yet. But I don't know. I don't see anything changing. I think the train's going to keep rolling because this team is just so mature, and they've kind of been there, done that. Especially the guys that have returned from last year, they want to win the conference outright. They don't want to split with anybody this time. You know what I mean? That is their goal.
Yeah. If I had to give a prediction for this season, I think we take it all and we hit the road, move to the Southern Conference, leave these guys in the dirt.
Looking that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going back to the Davidson game though, quickly, I want to talk about the running backs. Just really briefly, because I talk about them a lot.
Yeah.
I think Quintel Quinn is really starting to come into his own. He reminds me a lot of Jalen Mitchell from last year.
Yeah.
I think he's got a little bit more wiggle to him. I think he's got some more shiftiness than Mitchell had. But he's a tough runner. He's hard to bring down, and he's a guy that can tote the rock for you multiple times. They've not had to do that. They've not had to give him like more than 11, 12, 15 carries. But I think if crunch time does come about and you need to give 28 the ball 30 times, I think he'd be just fine.
Yeah. I mean, the way you're talking about him, I think that he just might be your dude of the week.
Is that what that's your prediction?
Yeah.
Well, you'd be right.
Yeah.
Because that's my dude of the week. Quintel Quinn, number 28, running back. He dominated yet again. He led the team in rushing at over 100 yards off of just a few carries. There was a play, and I'll throw the clip on there because I got a video of it, of he ran the ball, and I don't know like if it was off the left guard, if it was off right guard. He got to the linebackers. He got to the second level, and Davidson did what they're supposed to do. They all gang tackled him.
Yeah.
Okay? They just didn't get him to the ground.
Yeah.
The offensive line, Christian Thomas is continuing to push the pile, and I'm sitting there recording it. I'm like, the refs are not blowing the whistle.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you see 28 squirt out of that little pile, and he takes it to the house. So credit to Quintel Quinn. He's just a big play guy. He makes big plays.
Yeah.
So that's my dude of the week. Who's your dude of the week?
Dude of the week, there were some good choices. I did Theron Gaines last week.
You did.
He's well-deserving. 4 tackles and an interception, pick 6. That's all well and good.
He's got the case to go back-to-back for sure.
Yeah, but with Dude of the Week, we want to give a shout-out to as many guys as possible. So for this week, my Dude of the Week, Aaron Swafford. 8 total tackles. I think 4 unassisted, 4 assisted, and a sack, tackle for loss.
Yeah.
I think that's, he led the defense in tackles, had a sack. That's a game changer. He's wrapping guys up. He's getting them down. That's what you want from a linebacker. That you want him to make tackles. You want him to lead the team like that. And I think he did that this week. So I think that's my Dude of the Week.
That's a really good pick because he's not only effective on the field. I think Swafford's one of the bigger leaders on this team as far as a vocal guy. He's kind of been there, done that. This is his, I want to say, 3rd year in the program. I may be wrong on that, but I think I know he's been here and had success at Tech prior to Coach Wilder getting here, which is really impressive. But yeah, he's a great football player. He played his best game on Saturday, in my opinion. He was all over the field. He had that sack on 3rd down, that's the down you want to get a sack on right there. It made him punt the ball. So credit to Aaron Swafford and Quintel Quinn. Those this week's Dude of the Week. Could have gave it to Vesperis. He won it in week 1 though. You know what I mean? He's OVC Offensive Player of the Week. Could have gave it to Theron Gaines, but like you said, we want to get everybody involved.
Yeah.
In this Dude of the Week segment.
Yeah, we don't want it to look like the OVC Player of the Weeks, which has been dominated by Tech,
So far, yeah. Every week we've had a guy in the mentions from special teams, defense, and offense. So all 3 facets of the game, Tennessee Tech has had playmakers so far in this early season. That's really impressive, too.
Yeah, we like to spread the love a little bit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in the OVC, you can't really do that because Tech's that dominant.
They are. They're far and away the best team in the OVC right now, and it's evident not only in the AP, the FCS polls, but it's just on the field, just on display. They're ranked 12th right now. I see them going up even past the bye week because you're going to have some teams probably lose that are above you. They could be near in the top 10, if not in the top 10 by the time they play TSU, which is that's really cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's very impressive. So credit to everybody so far this year on being 3-0 for the first time since 1977.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And like I said, I think the train's going to continue to roll. Going back to the Davidson game again, you saw Brian Courtney get a little bit more involved on offense, which I love to see. I'm a big tight end guy. I like the big tight ends. I like the big fellas catching the ball, running across the middle and getting yardage and blocking down on the next play. That's what I like.
Yeah.
I like Brian Courtney. He's a good football player. He's from Florida State. I was really high on him coming in. It just seemed like he was going to be your mainstay at tight end this year, and he's been that so far.
Yeah.
He got more involved in the offense. He'll be a weapon moving forward, Brian Courtney will. If they can continue to get him the ball, he will be a weapon, on 3rd and short or whatever you need him for.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about, positions you favor.
Mm-hmm.
I favor quarterbacks. I do love quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I like seeing some guys sling the rock.
Yeah.
But I also like receivers. And this receiver room, it's been great so far. You have guys like Noah Robinson, who's been pretty consistent throughout the year. You got guys like you said, Brian Courtney. You got Mari Sullivan. That guy, I think he had 7 receptions for 78 yards.
Yeah.
This receiving room has been great.
Yeah.
And that's what you want for a quarterback like Kakoa. You want a receiver room who he can trust and he can target. He can get every guy involved. You don't want him to have one option.
That's right.
And this receiving room is very versatile, and that's what I like the most about him.
You hit the nail right on the head is what I was going to say. You give Vesperis a lot of options to work with. You give him a lot of weapons to deal with. Credit to this staff and the wide receiver staff, the offensive staff as a whole. They went in the portal and got some dudes, some playmakers, at the wide receiver position. Noah Robinson looks really good. He caught a touchdown in the back of the end zone against Davidson. Mari Sullivan is continuing to be consistent every week. You know what I mean? He's a consistent presence that you really have to watch out for. They got DJ Lincoln's the ball a couple times. I still would like to see him more involved, but it's hard to get him involved when you only got one football.
Yeah.
And Tremel Jones, we know what he did last year. He's just a dynamic player with the ball in his hands. So they've got a lot to work with, that receiver. And I didn't even mention Trey Holloway. Trey Holloway was the surprise of the year so far for me.
Yeah. No, everyone on this offense has just been killing it. That's the easiest way to say it is everyone they're doing their job. They're executing to the level that Coach Wilder expects them to do.
Yeah.
So I think everything's going well on the offense. Defensively wise, we had a lot of dogs.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of dogs, a lot of
Yeah.
playmakers, a lot of guys who can force turnovers, a lot of guys who can get back there, make the quarterback run. A lot of guys who can cover pretty well. So everything's going great for this team.
Everything's clicking. Offensively, I want to shout this out. They've got the number one scoring offense in the FCS,
Yeah.
60 points a game on average, which is unheard of. Another thing, I was writing the article about the football team for this upcoming edition,
Yeah.
and I did the math on a calculator. Tech has outscored their opponents 182 to 31, I think it was.
Gosh.
It was something crazy because I got to thinking, I'm like, what is the actual total number of points
Yeah.
for and against? About 180 something to 31.
That's video game numbers
That's
right there.
ridiculous. I couldn't do that in a video game
No.
if I had the chance to. If I played 3 games in a row, I don't think I could outscore somebody that much.
No, unless you just keep getting frustrated and restarting the game like I do.
I have to put it on freshman or something.
Yeah.
I have to lower the difficulty. But yeah, no, it's insane what they've done this year. Shifting gears a little bit, kind of a not so positive thing. I saw Aiden Littles. He went down in the game early and he didn't come back. Hopefully he's all right.
Yeah.
I will say what is in Tech's favor though is that they do have this bye week.
Yeah.
Hopefully to get healed up. I don't know how severe his injury is, but if he was to get healed up and get ready for conference play, that would really help Tennessee Tech out because he's
Yes.
a playmaker. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The 35 can make plays. So I'll be watching that. They were without Canston Brooks, did not play, I don't think. The defensive line did not skip a beat. Hudson Tucker's still out. I'm just trying to think of all the injury players on the top of my head, but they keep rolling. That's why you brought in the guys that you did through the transfer portal, is to keep adding that depth and to have that depth. And that's what T-Wags was talking about, how deep this team is and just how overall really impressive of a job that the staff has done in the transfer portal.
Yeah. Like I said last episode, it's next man up for this team. They're ready to replace a guy at any moment. Obviously, every guy's important. We want every guy to play.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone goes down, this team knows what it's got to do, and it can step up just like that.
I agree. Everything's in front of this team, guys.
Yep.
Everything's in front of them. They can. This team can do wonders. I mean, they can win as many games as they want to. It's really all up to them.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how it all unfolds. Like I said, last week beat 72-14, killed Davidson. Got a bye week this week, and then TSU on the road. We'll cover that next week and kind of give a preview to that. Thanks again to Tyler Wagner for allowing us to interview him on this podcast. We really appreciate that.
Absolutely. What a great guy.
You want to add anything else, Adam?
Final notes is that the future is in this team's hands.
I agree with
And
that.
That's all I really got to say.
Yeah.
We'll see as it goes later down the line. We're still early in the season, but in terms of outcome of the season, everything's in Tech's hands.
I agree.
So the only way I see them losing it is if they fumble the football and they ain't been eating popcorn.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think they'll be all right.
They've not had that issue yet as far as like turnovers goes. So that's another positive. But yeah, exciting times around the Tech football program, and we're going to be covering it every step of the way. So just keep tuning into the podcast to get all the information that you need on this team. And yeah, I think they can, like you said, they can go as far as they want.
Yeah.
So, but that's all the time we have for you today. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Episode 4 of Touchdown Tech. It's Tennessee Tech Football Podcast.
Yeah, hey.
So it's close. See you guys next week for episode 5.